Well, hi there. Warm welcome. You're watching Blueprint Explosive Exclusive with me, Meghna Deka. And as promised, let's get you the big story, a mega exclusive, which is going to really change the entire narrative of what the truth was of an alleged cover-up. A father was forced to deny treatment to his bleeding daughter. He was threatened against going to the police, and then he was forced to cremate her even before a post-mortem. Well, today on Times Now, we will get you this heart-wrenching tale of the father of the Hanskhali rape and murder victim. On our camera, he reveals how he was intimidated, told that his home will be burned to the ground, and today feels that justice is slowly slipping away from him. Listen in to this grieving father.
রেখে যায় আর দুটো ছেলে রাস্তার ওইদিকে ছিল যে তোমার মেয়ে অসুস্থে রাস্তায় পড়ে আছে এই তোমার মেয়েকে ঠিক এই বলে তারা চলে যায় তারপরে ওই রাস্তায় যে ছেলেটা ছিল ওইখানে বলছে যে যদি কোনো হসপিটালে নাও তাহলে বাড়ি ঘরতে কিন্তু জ্বালায় দেবো আগুনকে পোড়ায় দেবো তখন ভয় দেখা নেয় ভয় দেখা নেয় না তখন তো আমি মানে মেয়ের ছবি আমি তো মানে তখন জ্ঞান হারা.
Now viewers, remember yesterday Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee had an opportunity to respond to this, and she said we wonder if victim was having a love affair, was this pregnancy, what is behind this pregnancy. But this is what the grieving father has now said today. You have to hear this, viewers. This is the father of the minor girl who was raped, killed, and the family was forced to cremate the body, just like it happened in Hathras. Listen to this.
আমার মেয়ের বয়স এটা বলার দরকার আমি থানায় বলেছি যে আমার মেয়ের যাই যা হয়েছে সম্পূর্ণ ডিটেইল আমি থানায় আমি সব কিছু বলি না ওই পাড়াপড়শি যারা ছিল সবাই ধরে ধরে নিয়ে তাকে পোড়ায় দিয়েছে যেরকম আমাদের মা বাবা সৎ কাজে করে যে আমাদের একটা সমাজ আছে সবাই সেইভাবে সেইখানে নিয়ে গেছে.
All those people came. We were forced to cremate. This is the father saying it, not Times Now. The Kolkata High Court, viewers, is hearing two PILs demanding an independent central probe into the case. In its defense, Mamata's lawyer said, the government lawyer said that they are taking the case seriously. Now, look what we put together. Meghna Deka is now joining us to quickly put what unfolded in the courts.
Well, in fact, Pranesh, what we've done is we have split the two versions which are coming in. This is what the court has said, and this is what the father has alleged. The father says that there were two boys, they were standing near my daughter. Remember, his daughter's body was lying on the roadside. He said there were two boys who were standing near her. But the state has said the state is very sincere and 22 people have been examined. In fact, the father goes on to speak about how he was threatened. In the next one, we are going to tell you how he says that these two boys had threatened him. He said that the boy told me I shouldn't take her to the hospital. Is that something that the state has alluded to, referred to about in the FIR? No. Instead, the state in the court has said that the mother herself admit that they didn't inform the police. The fact that the father was threatened is something that it's not alluded to. Going on, the father has also said that they threatened that my house will be burned. It will be razed to ground if he took his daughter who was bleeding and lying on the roadside, if he takes his daughter to the hospital. However, the police instead have said there's a recorded statement which is there. They've recorded it under section 164. Section 164 under the CRPC, remember, is in front of a magistrate. However, again, the state is not looking into these threats, dire threats, threats of the house being burned down, taken that into account at all. The father on Times Now's camera, as I said, I was so scared. I didn't know what to do next. This is a grieving father who finds his daughter bleeding on the side of a road. He's being threatened that his house is going to be burned down if he takes her to the hospital or goes to the police. But the state, however, says that the statements have been taken very seriously, action has been taken upon. That is the defense that the state has been saying. The father said, I didn't make any effort to reach out to the police. The state says that they never informed us. However, the fact that the fathers very categorically said, I didn't reach out to the police because I was under threat, I was intimidated, I was threatened that they're going to now, after killing my daughter, will also burn down my house. But that was never taken into account. And Pranesh, that's the entire cover-up that we have now exposed here on our exclusive.
And this is important because this is coming straight from the victim's father. What essentially the father is saying, just let me recap this in 2 points before I open it up. He says, I was threatened by 2 boys and they told me, if you take the girl to the hospital, we will burn your house. The father has gone on record. This is even part of the affidavit that the family has filed in the High Court. Now, Tamal and Tanushree are joining us. We also have Dr. Nikhil Prasoon, spokesperson of the BJP, Dr. Kakoli Ghosh Dastidar, Member of Parliament, TMC. I'm coming to both of you. But Tamal, the father is not mincing his words. Will now he also be discredited? Will the Chief Minister come and say, well, we don't know whether the father made this when he was in the right frame of mind? Are we going to see that?
Well, Pranesh, there are 3 aspects to it. Number one, what the father is saying, he is the victim's father. Mind it, under the POCSO rule, if the victim is no longer there, then in that case, a statement given by the family in form of 164 and then in form of affidavit will have to be considered as a testimony basis of what the investigation has to happen. Now, the father is clearly saying that on that day, which is 5th of April, the daughter was brought back home by a woman. She was accompanied by a woman, and then he saw 2 male individuals standing on the other side of the road in darkness who had allegedly threatened him that his house would be raged down, would be burned down if he takes the daughter to hospital. Thereafter, the father admits that he was he was scared, he was intimidated, and he did not take the chance of stepping out of the house. And the daughter, the family, they all stayed back in the house till the point the daughter felt very, very sick. And that happened in the wee hours of the morning. And that's when the mother had gone out to a local doctor. He did not even have a doctor's certificate. And by the time the doctor could come and see the daughter, she was gone. She had died. Very unfortunate incident. And thereafter, the very next day, the father claims, as the culture is out there, it's a very remote village and the local custom they maintain. The locals came down and they all together, the father claims under no coercion, had gone ahead and cremated him. But the big question now remains, who are these 2 people who had threatened the father? Are they the same individual who have been arrested? Are they the same individual, including the prime accused and his friend? And also,
who are these people? Are these the people who've been arrested so far? Very few answers which are coming to all these questions. In fact, it's important for our viewers to ensure that there is no politics over it, that there is no rhetoric over it. Listen into what this grieving father has said. Our viewers must decide for themselves. Listen in.
একটা মহিলা সে আমার বাড়ি রেখে যায় আর 2টো ছেলে রাস্তার ওইদিকে ছিল যে তোমার মেয়ে অসুস্থে রাস্তায় পড়ে আছে, এই তোমার মেয়েকে, ঠিক আছে, এই বলে তারা চলে যায়। তারপরে ওই রাস্তায় যে ছেলেটা ছিল ওইখানে বলছি যে যদি কোনো হসপিটালে নাও তাহলে বাড়ি ঘর থেকে কিন্তু জ্বালায় দেবো, আগুনকে জ্বালায় দেবো। তখন ভয় দেখায় নেয়, ভয় দেখায় নেয় না। তখন তো আমি মেয়ের ছবি আমি তো তখন জ্ঞান হারা।
Dr. Kakoli Ghosh Dastidar, I want to begin by asking you, ma'am, on the face of it, what do you think of this grieving father? What do you make of what he's saying?
I have my full sympathies towards him and the family. You know, the rape is a heinous crime, and it has been there perpetrated towards women down the ages throughout the world. There is no words. The deplorable action of rape has to be always, the perpetrator, he has always to be punished. That is my view.
All of this is happening under TMC rule, and that is the problem.
At the moment, would you like to interfere or let me also speak, Nedi?
Make your point.
Now, what I want to say is that it is one of the severest of crimes. But this particular case is sub judice, and we don't want to interfere into the investigation and the opinion of the court by putting in our version of it. What we hear from the father, that he was flabbergasted looking at his daughter coming home like that.
Yes.
Now he should have, what I feel, should have brought it to the notice of the police right away. Because in West Bengal it never happens that government officials or police go and burn the body like in Hathras.
He said he was threatened.
He should have gone, or he should have called the neighbors, and if 20 people were gathered at that time, then he could have gone, and he shouldn't have been scared of two people standing there. I don't know who they are. But if they belong to the Trinamool Congress, let me assure you that Mamata Banerjee does not at all, like to spare the rod if Trinamool Congress is found guilty, as we've seen so many times. She's for the women. She's doing so much for the women.
Okay, ma'am, because you're talking about the Chief Minister, let me also remind you the comments made by Miss Mamata Banerjee. Have you forgotten what Mamata Banerjee said? She said, we don't know whether this is rape, how did she got pregnant, whether or not she was pregnant, or this is a love affair gone wrong.
And this was also, if I can remind our viewers, while the entire matter was sub judice. Today, Dr. Kakoli Ghosh Dostidar may say she will not comment because it was sub judice. Yesterday, when the Chief Minister made these comments that Pranesh has alluded to, it was still sub judice. Dr. Dostidar.
Okay, I haven't heard because I wasn't here anyway.
We can play it out for you, ma'am.
Like I told you, that it is one of the most heinous of crimes, and the perpetrators should definitely be punished. And if they belong to Trinamool Congress, like you were saying, then definitely the party doesn't stand with such criminals. The investigation is going on. Let us wait for that to finish. Let the police take their action.
Response from the BJP, Dr. Nikhil Prasoon.
Let us have faith on the verdict of the court.
Okay, Dr. Nikhil Prasoon.
Yeah, what should I call it? Should I call the state of affairs as deplorable, unfortunate, condemnable, I think, or ignominious? I think my state, West Bengal, is soon slipping into a state of perennial anarchy. The statement issued by the Honorable Chief Minister is tantamount to character assassination of the girl who lost her life, who was brutally raped and killed. I think, and in one of the judgments today passed by the Honorable High Court, the Chief Justice said that, a series of rapes are occurring in the state, and he has handed over 4 rape cases,
Right.
including what happened in Deganga, Mitia, Ingris Bazar, and Basroni, to an IPS officer specifically.
Yes.
And he has expressed his gross anguish and sorrow over the state of affairs that is prevailing in the state of West Bengal. And the statement uttered by Honorable Chief Minister, it reminds me of the infamous rape crime of Park Street few years back, and the way she brushed it aside, calling it a Sajano Gulp, a fabricated story, and later on the truth was found to be contrary to what she was contending. I think this is something which speaks volumes, and the whole country is watching about the state of affairs prevailing in West Bengal.
Absolutely. In fact, even in the time of the Birbhum, taking forward what Dr. Prasoon has said, the High Court has said there was a predetermined mind to take the investigation into a particular direction by the TMC state that had been made in the case of Birbhum. And interestingly, just yesterday, and something that Dr. Dostidar is not aware of, Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee had this to say about, again, a case which had happened on her jurisdiction when she was the Chief Minister, also the Home Minister, and this was still sub judice. Listen in to what Mamata Banerjee said.
এই যে তোমরা দেখাচ্ছ বারবার একটা বাচ্চা মেয়ে মারা গেছে নাকি রেপড হয়ে, আপনি রেপড বলবেন না প্রেগনেন্ট বলবেন না লাভ অ্যাফেয়ার্স বলবেন? এটা এনকোয়ারি করেছেন কি? আমি পুলিশকে জিজ্ঞেস করলাম, ঘটনাটা খারাপ, অ্যারেস্ট হয়ে গেছে, কিন্তু ছেলেটির সাথে মেয়েটির নাকি লাভ অ্যাফেয়ার ছিল আমি শুনেছি। অ্যাকচুয়াল রেপ হয়েছে, না প্রেগনেন্ট ছিল, বা অন্য কোনো কারণ হয়েছে, নাকি কেউ ধরে ধরে চড় মেরেছে, শরীরটা খারাপ হয়েছে, লাভ অ্যাফেয়ার্স তো ছিলই, বাড়ির লোকেরাও সেটা জানতো, পাড়ার লোকেরাও জানতো। এখন যদি কোনো ছেলে মেয়ে কেউ কারোর সাথে প্রেম করে, সেটা আমার আটকানো আমার পক্ষে সম্ভব নয়। এটা ইউপি নয় যে লাভ জিহাদ নিয়ে আমি প্রোগ্রাম শুরু করব। এটা তার স্বাধীনতা।
She has said what she had to. Dr. Dastidar, what would you say?
I would still maintain that let us have faith on the court and the investigating officers. They are looking into the heinous crime that is deplorable, and my sympathies with the family. We stand by them, and I want the perpetrators to be punished severely as per the book, as per the law. So let us wait for the judgment of the court.
Your final
But
words.
the head of
Dr.
the
Prasoon.
administration has already, uttered the judgment. But the head of the administration, Honorable Chief Minister, she has already passed the judgment. What is there for the police to decide upon? She has already dictated the final investigation outcome. And this has put to shreds all norms of civilizational values. I think this has brought the whole state to shame. I think this character is an assassination which has been resorted to by Honorable Chief
Absolutely,
Minister.
and let's remind our viewers as well that we have the father on record now on Times Now's camera saying, "My daughter was not pregnant." We just played out that soundbite for you. All of this is now on camera. He now alleges there were threats which were given to him, and there is a systematic cover-up. Is that the truth, is the question.
With that, we are taking a short break. I thank both of our guests, Dr. Prasoon and Dr. Dastidar, for joining us. A short break, lots more lined up on Times Now on the other side. Please stay with us.